Hello, welcome back to the Dukascopy TV studio. Now, last Sunday, international markets were rocked by an inconclusive Italian election. But what happens next and what impact is this having on the euro area? Roberto Falzoni joins me now to discuss this. Roberto, thank you very much for coming in.
Good morning, Natalie. Happy to be here again.
Now, if we start with the Italian election itself, can this political stalemate be solely attributed to a backlash against austerity in Italy, or do you think it's part of a broader European issue?
I think, Italian election, Italian politics have always been, and the Italian, let's say, system has always been problematic. So in Italy we had so many government in 60 years as no other nation. But it's clear that this election for me have shown clearly that in Italy we are not ready to support, European bureaucratic measures of austerity without having a hope of growth. So I would take this, Italy is a little bit a laboratory of what is happening in Europe, and we can definitely not only look at this result as purely an Italian result against austerity, but let's say as a European problem. So European Union has been created, and since 10 years, unfortunately, we have seen that has been going away and away from people. So today, in this economic crisis, the measures that have been taken, in these last 2 or 3 years, are not giving the expected results. And especially in, let's say, southern European countries, this has created economic crisis to deepen. I mean, the results of Italy in the last year are really very bad. So let's say that the cure that has been given to Italy is not working, and the Italians have, as far as we have a democracy, are showing that they are not agreeing with this, and they want something different. And I think that Europe should take this into consideration seriously.
Italian business leaders even have already unleashed criticism on politicians as they fear that much needed reforms for the country could be stalled or even halted by this sort of whole inconclusive election result. Do you think that it can be resolved by a revote, or how do you think we should move forward?
Let's say that, thank God to Italy, in Italy we have a very good, industrial base. Very international industrialists who have been investing, who has been developing their business all over the world. So this is what is the strength of Italy. Unfortunately, politics never really helped on this. To revote with the same system that we have already now, which I'm sorry to say, but it's difficult to understand for foreigners, who are looking to Italian politics sometimes, but it's true, the system is unfortunately by itself is wrong. So it cannot provide a stable government that can take the needed decision. So probably, we should go, to kind of extreme situation where some new people can come and then can really change the whole system. And this, victory of this party was created, Movimento 5 Stelle, just a few months ago. It's not only a protest, but there are people who are coming with very clear idea of how to break this system. And so, of course, we are in the middle of that. So probably we're going to revote relatively soon, but unless we have a different system, the results will not be much different.
As we've already sort of touched upon, it's not just an Italian issue, but a whole euro area issue. We've already seen European stocks, Italian bonds, the single currency itself have all experienced a pretty roller coaster ride off the back of this sort of inconclusive result, as sort of the whole euro area is sort of threatened to go back into turmoil again. We've had this quote from Clemens Fuest, who is the incoming president of ZEW's Germany. I absolutely think it can get a lot worse. There is really the current plausible scenario for a breakup of the currency union. It may very well be that in these countries at some point the population will say, we don't believe things will get better. Yeah. Could we still see a euro exit from a eurozone nation? And if that's the case, who do you think will be the first to go?
Yeah, I think it's true. I mean, if people start to believe that things cannot get better, then the situation, of course, it can just worsen. My belief is that in the last year we have seen different scenarios, but especially, I mean, everything, you know, the improvement, let's say, overall of the situation has been the European Central Bank action, which really could somehow soften the situation, but it's more like a painkiller. You know, it does not solve the problem. Problems are there. Of course, European Central Bank has been pouring money, has been buying European debt, has been taking action that are definitely unconventional. This has been just buying time. But if we don't solve the real problems, the situation will not get better. Now, when you talk about a euro breakup or, you know, country leaving the euro, of course, this will be the worst of the possible outcome. My belief is that first we're probably going to have to see, you know, more printing of money, more easing situation, and definitely a much weaker euro. I mean, I can just show you what I think about the euro. The euro is this, you know, probably not only the euro, but, you know, all markets today are manipulated by central banks. And the politics has been printing money, printing as much money as possible, and with this money printed, buy government debt. This we know in history never took us to a good end. Now, let's see whatever it is the timing. But unfortunately, euro is going to be the next one. I mean,
the euro will become the toilet paper of the global currency market.
Yeah, I think, you know, not only probably the euro, but, you know, this is paper, and you know, to solve the debt crisis that we have right now, or you don't pay the debt, or you're just going to print as much as you can. Now in Europe, of course, they started in the US, in Japan they did it. Currency in Japan devalued by in between 15 and 25% in the last 3 months. This is huge with a country that has 200% debt. So it's not only, let's say, Europe. Europe has had other problems because we are not even a nation. We are not even united. So we have some people who are against printing too much money, and others that just need it. So for me, the outcome, you know, the first outcome will be this, and then we'll see. And maybe all of a sudden, and everything will going to break down. But this will be then definitely very bad. So I wish we don't arrive to that point.
Mm. Well, with elections on the brain, also obviously we've got Germany's upcoming election in September. Can we expect sort of similar market nervousness almost around this?
Yeah, let's say that as I'm telling you, finally markets has been moving along relatively nicely lately, but that was due to central bank intervention, which are there. We are putting more money, and they are creating this false atmosphere of wealth creation or security in government bonds of nations who are even increasing their debt. So it's a huge Ponzi scheme. Now, what about Germany? Germany, of course, they are in the best of the situation right now. And I think that Mrs. Merkel, she's taking well care of German interest, and the country is doing pretty well, and they are benefiting a little bit from this crisis in south of Europe. They have interest rate at 0 or below 0. They can finance the debt. So I think that for them the situation is still relatively good. But of course, if the rest of the boat will sink, they are not on another boat. We are all on the same boat. So I think markets will be quite volatile. I think currency markets will be very interesting to play. There will be big opportunities. We have already seen this since the beginning of the year, with yen and pound weakening a lot against the euro or even the dollar. Probably the next one will be the euro. So let's wait and see.
Roberto, thank you very much for coming in. I think I'll be keeping hold of this. Thank you. We'll be back with you shortly with more exciting interviews from Market Insiders. For now, though, goodbye.